This is No BS Job Search Advice Radio, episode 2192. I'm Jeff Altman, the Day Game Hunter, and welcome to Friday. And today's show is about the interview over lunch or dinner. After all, more and more people are winding up in situations where they're socializing, and that includes professional socializing as well. How do you do it over lunch or dinner? One thing I'll add on that I didn't at the time I recorded this, the mask conversation. Discuss it in advance of the meeting, especially if you're working through a scheduler. Just simply ask them, will they be masked? Do they expect me to be wearing a mask during the course of our meeting one another? It gets some of the awkwardness out of the way. And with that, we'll be back in just one moment. This is No BS Job Search Advice Radio, episode 2192. I'm Jeff Altman, the Day Game Hunter, and welcome to Friday. And today's show is about the interview over lunch or dinner. After all, more and more people are winding up in situations where they're socializing, and that includes professional socializing as well. How do you do it over lunch or dinner? One thing I'll add on that I didn't at the time I recorded this, the mask conversation. Discuss it in advance of the meeting, especially if you're working through a scheduler. Just simply ask them, will they be masked? Do they expect me to be wearing a mask during the course of our meeting one another? It gets some of the awkwardness out of the way. And with that, we'll be back in just one moment. Support for today's show comes from Skillshare.com. Now, Skillshare is a site where they have thousands of courses and lots of course instructors to help you not just simply professionally, but personally as well. I know I have a number of my classes there, and it's one price per month, and it's unlimited access to content. And they give you a 7-day free trial. So you can take all of my classes that way. And if you decide not to renew, okay, you decided not to renew. I'm fine with that. But I'm just simply saying it's a place where you can learn and grow and not have to worry about spending hundreds of dollars for courses like so many instructors make you do. Again, use the link in the show notes, get a 7-day free trial. It will make a difference in your job search and so much more. And we'll be back in just one moment. Let's talk for a moment about the lunch or dinner meeting. The one that you're going to be sitting down and having a meal with a person or people from the organization that's thinking of hiring you. First thing I want to remind you of, the number one thing is, although it's over a meal, it's still an interview. So you have to be prepared to sell, but sell in a more casual way than you would in a meeting across a desk or in a conference room. So, number one, before you get to the restaurant, check the website, check the menu, make sure that there are things that are appropriate for your meals. Don't be surprised, be prepared. Number two, get to the restaurant a little bit early. Introduce yourself to the maitre d'. Hi, I'm here for a 2 o'clock reservation with so-and-so. Have they arrived yet? Yes, great. I'd like to be seated, but I want to use the restroom first. Head for the restroom, and this is your time to primp in advance. Now, I know women don't need any reminder of this, but guys do. So the reminder is, number one, check your hair. Number two is if you're wearing a tie, make sure it's properly positioned, because after all, you may have been running to the restaurant or hustling to get to the restaurant. Things may have shifted a little bit around your neck, so you want to make sure it's in proper position. If it's hot out, you want to make sure you've had a chance to wash and dry your hands, because no one wants to shake hands with the sweaty palms. It's disgusting. If it's winter, you want to have a chance to warm them up. You also want to spend a minute or two focusing your efforts in order to be sure that you're able to be prepared as soon as you meet. And finally, in the primping phase, you want to have that big smile on your face, so when you greet someone and shake their hands, you're all warm and friendly and that sort of stuff.
So you sit down for your meal. You follow the lead of your host or hostess, ensuring that they have their opportunity to ask questions. Invariably, a waiter will come over to the table and allow your host to say, "We'll need another minute," as you look at the menu that you've already seen, figure out what you want for the final time, and place your order. As you're asked questions, there's a point where they're going to shift from social pleasantries to work-related questions. If you have one person, remember, you're maintaining eye contact with them throughout. If you have, let's say, 3 other people at your table, and I'm going to illustrate this as though I had 3 people, one to the left, one straight ahead, one to my right. Ready? As I answer questions, I might start by talking to the person directly in front of me. Then I would look over to the side, look to this person, look to this person, and then finish up my answer by talking directly to the person who asked the question. I don't want them to be just staring at profile if they're on the side spots. You follow? Next, I forgot to mention, if you're asked if you'd like a drink, avoid the alcohol. Even if they're drinking, that's not what your purpose is for this meeting. Your purpose is to win the job, not to see who can throw back more than the other. Last point, try to be friendly throughout, while at the same point being deadly serious. Easiest way to do that, as you start answering questions, I'm trying to illustrate it here, you start by smiling as you talk. And then as the conversation goes a little bit further, you slip into serious mode. What this does is starts off by being friendly and then switches the other way, switches into serious. Firms, from my experience, like that approach. The other way around doesn't work as well. So again, to illustrate it, I'm talking in serious mode, and by the time I get to the end of the question, I'm like, this doesn't make sense, unless you're making a teasing remark at the end, which generally avoid. So that's my advice, my basic advice for the interview over lunch or dinner.
So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few things I can do to help you with your job search beyond simply being your coach. First of all, I've got a new book out called The Right Answers to Tough Interview Questions. It is like a cookbook with answers to tons of interview questions that you're going to be asked on interviews. And if you pair it up with my other new book, The Ultimate Job Interview Framework, they are a terrific pair of books to help you with interviewing. In addition, I have a new service where you can practice mock interviews. If you go to thebiggameHunter.us/mock, I've got a service there, very inexpensive, like $99, where we have mock interviews set up. I'm going to be adding more to it very soon, but you can record your answers to them, and then I can critique them and help you perform better on them. You probably have noticed my show notes are pretty thorough with products and services that can help you with your search. And connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/TheBigGameHunter. Lastly, my website has a ton of great information. That's thebiggamehunter.us. Now, if you're not ready to go there and go through the blog, put the address in your phone, thebiggamehunter.us, Jeff Altman. So this way, when you're ready to go, you have a way of getting back to my website. Hope you have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great!